So if you've come to this video, I'm guessing that you're looking for 7 skills that you are going to need as a freelance video editor. That's right, it's 2022, the year of making new changes and new prospects, I guess. And when you want to make such a career dive, either you are already looking at changing your career, or you have the essence of youth and are looking to start your career in the kind of desired place that you want to work. Where am I going with this? But that's all right. Whether you're one of the two, you're safe here. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Charlie Rowlands. I am a filmmaker, video editor, and also struggling at them both. So it's relatable. So like I said at the start, a lot of us are wanting to make a change in our lives, whether that's starting our new career or whether it's changing in a current one. And in today's video, I'm going to simply just help you with 7 skills that you're going to need to become a freelancer, whether that's a freelance video editor, freelance writer, freelance editor, or just working from home, really. I myself have been freelancing for quite a long time now. I'm turning 26 this year, so it just feels like one big blur. I've basically been freelancing from the start of my career since before uni. In fact, since uni. I've been freelancing. So here's some tips that I've found along the way of being a freelancer. My main core topic on where I am a freelancer is with video editing, but all these points can be useful to whatever job you're doing. They're mainly just generalized points. And if you are here as a video editor, make sure to click the link in whichever site it's going to be, and then you can watch my beginner's guide to becoming a freelance video editor. So let's just jump into it. So skill number 1, it's a simple one, but it's an important one, and that is become your own boss. Being your own boss is all about telling yourself when you've done a good job and when you've done a bad job, and how to manage your own time. We'll go into time management, but manage yourself as a person. So whether that's what hours you spend working, what time you spend researching, and how a kind of project will all come together. It's all up to you. And I would definitely recommend people to act as their own kind of self-boss. Have a bit of time set out for you to be a boss, and have a bit of time for you to set out to be the guy or lady that does the production project. It really just helps you set pace within a day. So maybe at the start of the day, you put your boss hat on, tell yourself what time you need to be getting stuff done by, what you need to get done by today, and kind of the management side. And then the rest of the day, you can spend actually doing the project. And then maybe a little bit of boss time at the end, just to, you know, fill the shoes, enjoy yourself. So number 2 is self-assurance and confidence. And that is all about being confident. Well, it kind of explains itself. But if you want me to explain it, I'll explain it. So being self-assured is about believing that you are good at what you do. I think a lot of the time what you can have is you can have the idea of... what's the saying? Imposter syndrome. That's right. Imposter syndrome can set in with a lot of people. I myself experience it all the time. It's just a part of being a freelancer. For me, at least. What I do is I often find myself catching myself out and saying, are you really up for doing X, Y, and Z, all these jobs? But you've got to be self-assured and confident that you are exactly the person to do this job, and that nobody else can be the one to do it. But that also means I'm going to take this around and also understand when you are not the person for the job. Yes, we might want to say yes to every single job, but then there are some things that are just way out of our league. So if somebody wanted to hire a CGI or even a 2D animator, even though I have the skills to do those, I'm definitely not confident and skilled enough to do those 2 jobs solely as they are. Basically, be self-aware, that point is. Self-assurance and confidence. Be confident that you are the person to do this job, and be self-assured, or assured. Oh God, there's too many words in that. Tip number 3. Tip number 3 is about, what is it about? You are your brand. So you have to make sure you look at your social footprint and exactly where your social footprint is going. So that means by making sure socially and online, you're representing exactly your company, which is like working for a company, except for it's you. So that means delete all the old and odd tweets about tweeting about thing tweeters tweet about, and making sure that you are exactly representing yourself and your business online, because people will do the background checks now. That's just how it works. And that doesn't mean to scare you, it just means to regulate what you're posting or regulate what has been posted. So just please, for the love of God, just remove your past. And honestly, yes, we've all changed from our past, but it just means just take away the past, because it just in case something happens, or you've said something stupid, or you've talked about your addiction to Cocoa Pops, and you're doing a job for another brand of cereals. I don't know. You get what I mean. Look at your social image. Represent yourself online. You are your business. When you leave the house, when you wake up, when you go online, you are your brand. So just remember that. Ooh. And the next one is the most boring point, which is time management. It is the most boring thing, but you'll get used to it. A lot of people, they're not so good from working from home. They're not so good at managing their times. People who may think that they're good at managing times often aren't very good at managing times. And I, for one, am somebody who's pretty managing their time. Not only do I often work over the allotted hours I'm kind of supposed to, but I also sometimes wake up late. But you kind of get used to it. So it's all about just setting yourself regulations and waking up at a certain time and going to bed at a certain time. Not overdoing it or obviously underdoing it. Just managing your time. It's simple, but it's important. So what I would do is actually make that one of the top points if you're writing this down. Make sure it's right up there to kind of say, okay, I'm going to wake up at 7:30. I'm going to start my day, get some breakfast and all that, go to the gym, and then I'm going to start working at 9. The next one is one that a lot of people want me to talk about, and it's not exactly the one that a lot of people want me to talk about, but it's kind of along the same lines. It is sales and... I nearly said the wrong word there. It is sales and bloody hell. It is sales and negotiation skills. Ooh. Sales and negotiating. You're asking why sales and negotiating? Well, I'm guessing you know the answer really already. It's actually because you're going to be doing a lot of sales and negotiating for your work and your pay. So you got to get good at it. The key to it is understanding your value. If you are currently an early editor or whatever, I'm just using video editing for an example, then you need to know that you're an early video editor. You're not an expert. Understand your price range and work to your price range. But saying that, when you grow, understand that you're growing. Understand you reach a point where you just cannot do any more cheap work. For me, that happened recently, to be perfectly honest with you. I understood that I need to stop doing the lower tier jobs and only accept the higher tier jobs, which is exactly the change that I've made. And then it's also understanding how much something will be worth. So if I'm going to be editing, say, an advertisement, I now take a look at exactly what their product is, how much people pay for it, how many sales on average that they get, and will this video make them money? Because if it is, then it's not worth doing it for cheap. Negotiate all you want as well, but never sell yourself too short. Sometimes you need to strategically get a lower pay because the opportunities that come from that may be higher. So just take that into consideration. Number 6 is communication skills. We've talked about this a lot. I've talked about how to talk to a camera. I need to make a video on kind of, how to gain somebody's trust and to talk to potential clients. But it's about communication skills. A lot of the time we're locked up behind a desk, and sometimes it can either become very energetic when we finally get to talk to somebody, or it can be very depressing. And some people who don't have the communication skills definitely need to improve on that. Don't accept not being very good at communication, because at the end of the day, the only way you're going to saying that on communication skills, what a joke. The only way you're going to grow is by actually improving your skills. Flex your communication skills like a muscle. The more you do it, the more you get better at it. Start getting used to it. You're going to have to break the mold. I'll go into this in a further detail, but just take it into consideration, write it down, and start practice upon that. Start looking at videos and reading up on things and exactly how to improve your communication skills. It's a hard one for me to kind of relate to not being as bad at communication skills. Only my English, being an Englishman, my English is awful. And the last one, we're on number 7.
Could number 7 come to the table, please? Thank you.
Number 7 is know your limits. And this kind of goes with every single point. This means anything from understanding when you've taken too much, a bit more than you can chew, or you have not taken enough and you need to improve your skills even more. It always can be a tough pill to swallow when you realize you need to learn more or work more or play a bit harder. But I can rest assure you it's probably the most important point is know your limits. Don't push yourself too hard. Ease yourself into this industry. It can get hard, it can get depressing, and sometimes you can get a little bit low about it, but that's all right. That's part of the process. It's part about being a creative person. The one best skill I was taught from my folks was that a lot of the time for creative people, you have your highs and you have your lows, and it's understanding that wave. Ride the wave when you're high and just kind of sit in, tighten up, and not tighten up, that's the wrong word. Ride the wave when you're high. That's when you're going to be the most what's the word, active and ambitious. But then when you're in those lows and you're feeling a bit down, that is really where the creative spurt comes. Think about all the other creatives, you know, the famous creatives. They all did something when they were pretty depressed. So just harness it. But like I said, know your limits. Don't push yourself too hard. Be forgiving, but also don't be too forgiving. Give yourself a kick up the arse when you need one. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's been an easy one, really. I've just sat here and talked at you for the past God knows how long. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found use from it. I'm Charlie Rowlands, and I create filmmaking content. And at the moment, I'm talking a lot about freelance video editing because that's something that some people seem to think I have a little bit of knowledge about, which is surprising. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I love you lots. Unless you call me an annoying ginger idiot. Don't love you that much. Yeah, screw it. I'll love you too. All right, then. I will see you in the next one.